Hey everybody, it's me, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to this week's edition of Throwback Flyersguy. I'm your host, Timmy Flyersguy, and welcome to this week's episode. Today's episode, I would like to talk about the 2010 Philadelphia Flyers playoff run. And this is going to be a long one. This might be a long one. It all started in the 09-10 season. Early in the season, Philadelphia Flyers acquired a couple new players. J.J. Reeves made his debut as a Philadelphia Flyer. Along with many other players, Ray Emery was our goalie back in that day, so rest in peace to Ray Emery. Hope he's okay in heaven. It was tough losing him. He was a great goalie, and the story begins with Ray Emery. We start the season off playing great against Carolina and New Jersey. And then at home we have an uphill battle against the Washington Capitals. Flyers win that game. In overtime, 6-5. They have a game against Pittsburgh. They lose that big game. But after that, they start playing better. I remember going to a few of those games. I went to a game against a couple preseason games. And then I went to a game against the San Jose Sharks. And then there was that game against the Anaheim Ducks where they lost in overtime. So, let me take you back. The season was going great. The season started going through what you call a turning point. In the month of November, it was a loss to the Buffalo Sabres. And then after that, injuries started piling up. Ray Emery was out of the lineup thoroughly. The coach, John Stevens, was fired. And Peter Laviolette came in to replace him. The month of December was a tough month for the Flyers. They were on a road trip, and they lost 3 games on that road trip. Came back. Philly got beat by the Penguins in the shootout, but Flyers played hard in that game. After Christmas, things started to turn around for the team as they acquired Michael Leighton. Got Michael Leighton from the Adirondack Phantoms. Brought him out. He played a few games. Played some great games. Flyers beat the Rangers before the Winter Classic game against the Bruins. They lose to the Bruins in the Winter Classic. January is an up and down month. And then we get into, February, They beat the New Jersey Devils in New Jersey in overtime. Goal by Simone Gagne. February is an okay month for the Flyers. March was okay. They had a big win, in March or April, against the Detroit Red Wings. Flyers were trying to get a playoff spot, so they had to win some games. Had a great win over the Dallas Stars. And we get to the final game of the season. I remember sitting there watching the final game of the season, Flyers Rangers. I remember my dad was here, my grandma was here, my mom was here, my sister was in the room as well. And I think we were all watching the game. And we were all nervous. Knowing this could be the last game. Flyers lost the game prior to this, the night before, so they come back on Sunday, and they're facing off against the New York Rangers. We're all watching Rangers. They get the first goal. Flyers tied up. Game goes into a shootout. And the Flyers, they win in a shootout. They make it to the playoffs. Their first opponent is the New Jersey Devils. They beat them in 5 games. They have a tough series with the Bruins. The Bruins dominate the Flyers in 3 games. Flyers come back. They do the unthinkable. They tie the series up, and then they win the series. 4-3 in Boston with a goal by Simone Gagne. I remember that game like it was yesterday. I was in the hospital because my potassium was very high. I wasn't there long. I was there for like maybe till after the game. And I can remember Simone Gagne scoring that goal and my heart rate on the pulse ox just going up. All the nurses and doctors walk in. My dad says he's okay. The Flyers just won. So the Flyers win the game. I go home happy. I get some rest next day. I get ready to go to a barbecue at my cousin's house. We're all hanging out there. We're all talking about the Flyers and what they did, how miraculous it was for them to come back over the Bruins. Their series starts against the Montreal Canadiens. Flyers absolutely embarrassed the Canadiens in that series. Canadiens only get one win in that series. Flyers just dominate them. They become Eastern Conference champions. They go to the finals against the Chicago Blackhawks. I'm pretty much excited about this. They lose the first two games in Chicago. They come back to Philly. They win games 3 and 4. But then they lose game 5. They come back to Philly for game 6. And this game is a very crucial game for the Philadelphia Flyers. They do all they can to compete with the Chicago Blackhawks. Flyers are down a goal. They tie it up. Game goes to overtime. Chicago. Patrick Kane has the puck. He shoots the puck. It looks like the puck doesn't go in, but on the replay it showed that Patrick Kane scored the Stanley Cup winning goal for the Chicago Blackhawks. Flyers lose this game against Chicago. They lose the series. They lose their chance to win a Stanley Cup. And Chicago was Stanley Cup champions. I remember my reaction to this. I was devastated. I was disappointed. But after a couple of days of reflection, I realized the Flyers had one of the best seasons they ever had, and they may have not won it all. They came very close to being Stanley Cup champions. And that's something you don't forget. I remember the day. I remember where I was. Everybody remembers where they were. On the Philadelphia Flyers. And one of the best playoff seasons of their lives. It was a tough season. And after that, I know that some changes had to happen. We lost Gagne. Tampa Bay Lightning got Gagne that year. But we'll always remember that great year that the Philadelphia Flyers had. I'll always remember that great year the Philadelphia Flyers had. And I know that 2010-2011 didn't quite resemble what happened in 2010. But to tell you the truth, the 2010 playoff season was the best ever, and I enjoyed every minute of it, and I loved every minute of it. And that was one of the best memories I had with me and my dad, was that playoff run the Philadelphia Flyers had. One of the best playoff runs in Flyers history was the 2010 Flyers series, in my opinion. A lot of people from back in the day would say that the Stanley Cup winning was set in 1974, 75 was a mess, but for somebody like me, that was my generation, and it's something we wanted, and it's something we get close to getting. Many hours a day, I sit and I wonder, Could the Flyers ever do that again? Will it ever happen again? Well, someday it will, and someday I hope it happens. And when it does, we're gonna be there, and we're gonna be cheering our hearts out. I'm Teddy's Flyersguy, and this has been Throwback Flyersguy. Thank you for joining me, and have a great night, everyone.